good, champs? Welcome to another episode, or should I say book, of the Book Review Show by yours truly, Glenn, aka Maurice. And that's my middle name for those who don't know. I'm excited for the book I'm going to give you guys today. Especially excited to give this to all my athletes, and fitness enthusiasts and like health enthusiasts. Just because all the content that's in this book and who it's by. Before I get into that, I just want to thank everybody that's tuning in, giving me the ear or the eye, whether it's audio or visual. Thank you guys, and I just want to give this message out as well. I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves and doing the things necessary, taking the precautions, and just able to still, strive and thrive. Because, amidst everything going on, the main thing is taking care of yourself. And there's things, we should have been already doing, but, if you weren't, I definitely hope you have woken up to the fact that some things are serious, and just taking your health is, the biggest priority because, you can just go like that, man. And we've been seeing a lot of things happen in 2020, and we hate to see someone go for something that they can prevent. So yeah, that's just my quick little message that I want to get out to everybody. Again, thank you for tuning in, and now let's get into the book for this episode. And we got Tom Brady's TB12 method: how to achieve a lifetime of sustained peak performance. And now, I picked this book. I want to give you guys this book. Mainly, it's just super important to me to give this book. I said to my athletes, because anytime you can learn from a great, and it's not like just like an autobiography where he's just giving you a story, but it's something like tactical or practical. Just how I gave you guys Kobe's Mama Mentality book, how he just goes into like his approach to the game. Anytime you can learn from someone like that, and they're giving you something tactical or practical on how to, go about the game or approach the game or how, like using the game, then to me that's super important, because you're not just learning from anyone. You're learning from someone that has a track record, success, longevity, and, just like the backing, like that he does it. Whether you like a fan of him or not, I mean, it's just like Kobe. Like, there's people that hate him, but you can't refuse that he's the great. Same like Tom Brady. So again, it's just a book like this is super important, to read, and for me to give you, other athletes, to bring it to your forefront, so you can dive into it and take the things that he offers in this book, which are really good. I'm gonna get into it, but as always, before we get into the book, talk a little bit about the author. And I mean, who doesn't know who Tom Brady is if you follow sports? But if you don't follow sports, or you don't know who Tom Brady is, you want percenters that also don't know how to buckle your seatbelt in an airplane. Tom Brady is the quarterback for the National Football League team, the New England Patriots. Someone fact checked me. I know someone will. But I believe he has 6 rings. I'm a 49er fan, so I don't keep up with him like that. But I believe he has 6 rings. He's the most winningest quarterback. Multiple MVPs. He's a father, son, husband. He's the author. I believe he has this book and a few other books. This is my first book I actually came across of his. So I'm not up on all the books that he may have, but this one in particular piqued my interest. Just because I'm also in the nutrition and fitness field, and seeing this, I had to grab it. So, he's an author. He started the TB12 training facility, which I believe is now in like other major markets, but it's in Boston, where the New England Patriots play. That's where the headquarters is. And he started it with his guy, Alex, who is his body coach. So, yeah, that's a little bit about Tom, the author. And what the basis of this book is about is to share. So Tom Brady is sharing his 12 principles of his TB12 method and daily habits that have allowed him to sustain peak performance and to show you, the reader, and other athletes how to apply them in hopes to inspire a movement that radically reforms the way we all train and help us live a more natural, healthy, holistic lifestyle while lowering injury risk, increasing vitality, and taking performance to the next level. So yeah, that's the basis of the book, and pretty much what what he wants you to get out of it. And as always, we're gonna get into some highlights and some takeaways, some highlights of mine, some takeaways of mine, and just some that I felt that Tom Brady really put an emphasis on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into those highlights and takeaways. So highlight number one for me, and actually before I get into that, when it comes to these things, like I think it's really cool. So like Tom Brady's book, similar to Kobe's, is his has a lot of pictures. So you get to like see a lot of demonstrations of things inside this book. He got like his workout, and then he goes into like his nutrition, gives you guys like some recipes. So yeah, it's a very illustrated book, which I think it was really dope for him to do, and I think it's cool to make it like very like digestible as a reader. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into these highlights. So first highlight is on page 18 when he meets Alex, his body coach and partner of finding the TB12 method. Page 18, and it was just a big takeaway because you get to see how they created their relationship and how his whole mindset and approach to things changed at that time, because at that time Willie McGinnis, who was playing for the Patriots, was working with Alex had him as a body coach, and Tom Brady was going through a shoulder injury, and Willie McGinnis had referred Alex to him. And ever since, like, from the first like 2 sessions that Tom Brady had met Alex, he didn't expect much out of it, but from those two sessions, it's Tom Brady said it changed his life, because at that point, he had already won a Super Bowl. He had already felt like he knew everything. Like, he felt like he'd been through all the recovery methods. He didn't had all the trainers. But he said going through like those first 2 sessions with Alex, and Alex teaching him some things and showing him some things, he said that changed his life, like in his approach to the game, and that's when they adopted the TB12 method. So yeah, gets right into does not get right into it, but you get to see that whole thing start to conspire starting on page 18. And then the next highlight is the 12 principles of the TB12 chapter. And this is where he goes into the 12 different principles of the method, and he explains them in kind of detail, kind of small detail, and explains them. And the main thing he hits on in this book, which is the number 1 principle, is pliability. And that's the number 1 principle. And he says pliability is the missing leg of performance training and the most underutilized and misunderstood. And what pliability is the lengthening and softening of your muscles. And he says it's the missing leg because it's the approach to it is different than the typical like recovery or just get a massage. He says that like it rewires your brain to body connection when you pliability train, because then he says you're preparing your body for the impact that, for different impacts that it's going to have in your sport or whatever you're doing by lengthening and softening your muscles. That most people don't do that. And he really hits on that point, on that principle. He really hits on that in the book. And so you'll see him talk about that a lot. That is like the basis of the whole TB12 training is pliability. But number 2 principle is holistic and integrative training. The third one is balance and moderation in all things. Fourth is conditioning for endurance and vitality. 5 is no load strength training. 6 is promote anti-inflammatory responses in the body. 7 is promote oxygen-rich blood flow. 8 is proper hydration. 9 is healthy nutrition. 10 is supplementation. 11 is brain exercises. And 12 is brain rest, recentering, and recovery. And then he goes into each of those like a little bit. And then the preceding chapters goes into those too. And just some of my further highlights. My third one is the training and methods chapter, where he goes into the different methods to work on and achieve pliability. So then that chapter, he breaks down pliability, gives you exercises, how you're supposed to do it, like the main way to do it, which is with a partner. And then he goes into how you can do it by yourself, with a roller, all that. He goes into all the different, methods and ways he does it. And that was really good. Like, you get to see like everything. He breaks it down. And then the workouts chapter was really good. I took a lot of things out of that one because he talks about his workout regimen and shows different variations of the workouts. And so with Tom Brady now, as he got older, he said he used to, like early in his, early in his career, he did the typical, like, go to the gym, do the basic workouts, with the machines on the bench press, yada, yada. He said, like, he talks about his workout regimen now is basically body weight and resistance bands. He says he still hits some of the machines, but mostly everything is body weights and resistance bands. So it's just cool because he actually just explains them. As you've seen, for those watching the video, you've seen kind of like how he has the visuals of the workouts. Next, my favorite chapter, or my favorite takeaway and highlight is the nutrition chapter. And he goes and discusses his thoughts and pointers, like the do's and don'ts on the importance of nutrition, his personal nutrition plan, and gives some meal plan recipes and grocery list ideas. And like, man, I'm telling y'all, like, this book is big. Like, he's basically like giving athletes, like, like, he could be your coach. Like, he's giving out free game, like I said, he's pointing to giving like do's and don'ts, for as far as like football, like, he goes into like football player because that's what he is. He tries to keep it general, but like you'll see a lot of it is like for like an athlete that's, like a football player. But yeah, and then he goes and talks about his like personal nutrition plan and like, his approach. And he says he adopts both Western and Eastern philosophies into his, his nutrition plan. And so, basically how he eats is mainly plant-based. And, he says he doesn't like, he's not like strictly plant-based, but it's a mainly plant-based. And he discusses like, the importance of it and like the importance of it. And I really like too, he gives like grocery list ideas. So if you're like not sure of what to go get in a store, he gives some ideas. And so like he breaks it down like hydration, carbs, protein. He gives you ideas and like different things. So yeah, and then my last highlight of the book is the brain training rest recovery chapter. He has a quote in there, and it says, just as important to creating a healthy inner environment are thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. Unless you create a healthy inner environment and a healthy outer environment, you won't achieve overall health and well-being. which is facts. Um, it's a mind body thing. If you can be great here, but if you're not here, then you're gonna be in shambles. And if you could be great up here, but if your body's whack, then it's. I mean, but the biggest thing is getting it up here because this will eventually get there. But it's just a mind body connection. So. Yeah, and he discusses some of the importance of maintaining the right positive mindset, proper resting and recovery, and explains a few of his personal methods in doing so. And he talks about a lot about the sleep, proper ways to sleep, he talks about like proper things to do, like when like when you're going to sleep, like time to sleep, all that. He talks about like meditation, like yoga, like doing like light activities that's like just kind of helping you recenter. Yeah, he goes into all that, and I thought it was just really cool, just kind of seeing like, what his approach is and his thoughts on all that. So he also has testimonials at the end of the book of some of the people who've trained with him, some of his teammates, and people who just regular enthusiasts and people who attend his facility. So yeah, that is the TB12 Method by Tom Brady. You guys can find this on Amazon. I got it from Amazon. You can find it at Barnes & Nobles. I know my Barnes & Nobles here in Federal Way, they had it. I don't know if they still do. But yeah, you can find it in there. I'll leave the link for you guys to get it if you are interested. Yeah, and thank you guys, whoever got to the end. I appreciate you, and more is coming. But yeah, check this book out, man. If you want, he's giving away some game in this book, and I think the biggest thing is he's about him teaching pliability, and then like him teaching just some of his methods and mentality when it comes to approaching the game. So yeah, that's TB12 Method by Tom Brady. I am your host, Glenn. I appreciate you guys. Stay healthy out there.